This sounds like a fact. It sounds logical. But logical doesn't always mean true. AI explains things with confidence. And sometimes, that confidence is misleading. So today we're putting AI on trial again. I'll give AI common claims. AI explains them. And we'll see how trustworthy those explanations really are. Here's how it works. I give AI a claim. AI explains it, and I score the answer. 1 point if it's correct, half a point if it's partly right, 0 if it's wrong. Let's begin. Fact number 1. Different parts of your tongue detect different tastes. AI, what do you think?
This idea became popular because of early textbook diagrams. They suggested sweet was detected at the front of the tongue, sour on the sides, and bitter at the back. Because these visuals looked scientific, people assumed they were accurate, and the idea stuck for decades. Taste is actually more complex. Different taste receptors exist across most areas of the tongue, not in strict sections. But the original diagram simplified the concept, which made it easier to teach and easier to believe.
That explains the myth, but it doesn't clearly correct it. Taste receptors are spread across the tongue. There are no strict zones. Half point. AI score, 0.5 out of 1. Let's move to fact number 2. Sharks don't get cancer.
Sharks are often seen as incredibly resilient animals. They survive in harsh environments, heal quickly, and have existed for millions of years. Because of this, people began to believe their bodies must be resistant to diseases like cancer. This idea became popular in media and even influenced some health claims. However, scientists have documented tumors in sharks. They are not immune. They simply appear less often studied in the wild.
Better. But I still focused more on the belief than the correction. Sharks can develop cancer. AI score, 1.5 out of 2. Fact number 3. Glass is actually a slow-moving liquid.
This belief comes from old buildings where windows appear thicker at the bottom than the top. People assumed the glass must have slowly flowed downward over time, like a liquid. In reality, early glass production methods were inconsistent, which caused uneven thickness from the start. Modern science classifies glass as an amorphous solid. It holds its shape and does not flow at room temperature. The myth persists because the visual evidence seems convincing.
That's a solid explanation. Glass doesn't slowly melt over time. AI score, 2.5 out of 3. Next one. Your blood is blue inside your body.
Veins can appear blue through the skin, especially under certain lighting conditions. This created the assumption that blood must change color before being exposed to oxygen. In reality, human blood is always red. Oxygen levels only affect the shade, darker or brighter, but never turn it blue. The illusion comes from how light interacts with skin and tissue.
Clear correction. It looks blue, but it isn't. AI score, 3.5 out of 4. Let's try another. Diamonds are extremely rare.
Diamonds feel rare because they are expensive and associated with luxury. But geologically, diamonds are not as uncommon as people think. Their availability is heavily influenced by mining control, distribution, and marketing strategies that shape perceived scarcity. This created the impression that diamonds are naturally rare, when in reality their value is partly constructed.
Interesting. Value doesn't always equal rarity. AI score, 4.5 out of 5. Fact number 6. Humans have the best eyesight of any species.
Humans rely strongly on vision for communication, navigation, and learning. Because of this dependence, it's easy to assume our eyesight is superior. However, many animals outperform humans in specific visual abilities. Birds of prey detect movement from extreme distances. Cats see better in low light. Some species detect ultraviolet light that humans can't see at all. So, human vision is advanced, but not the best overall.
Good nuance. We're adapted, not superior. AI score, 5.5 out of 6. All right, here's another one. Lightning never strikes the same place twice.
Lightning feels random and unpredictable, which led to this saying. But in reality, lightning is more likely to strike tall, isolated, or conductive objects repeatedly. Skyscrapers, radio towers, and mountain peaks can be hit many times during storms. So the idea that lightning only strikes once isn't supported by how storms behave.
Exactly. Rare doesn't mean impossible. AI score, 6.5 out of 7. Final fact. Sharks must keep swimming or they die.
Some shark species rely on constant movement to push water over their gills and extract oxygen. But other species can rest on the ocean floor and still breathe using different mechanisms. This means the statement is partly true depending on the species. The myth comes from applying one behavior to all sharks. Behavior.
Good nuance. Not entirely false, not entirely true. Best explanation so far. Final AI score, 7 out of 8. So what does this show? A. I sounds confident. But confidence doesn't equal accuracy. Sometimes it explains the belief, instead of correcting it. Sometimes it gets it right. And sometimes it misses the point. Use AI as a tool, not as a blind source of truth. We'll see you in the next trial.